here, so if I look down like this, yeah, excuse me. All right, so ladies, I got a few videos I want to play. So I'm going to be looking down while y'all talk, while I put up some of these videos. But I want to start out. Do y'all feel, here's my question, do y'all feel men or women are primarily, let's start with insecure? I see you nodding your head, but I can't
I,
really look down.
I think we all have insecurities about ourselves on an individual level. Um, how we get through with those, or how we accept them, and then when we interact with other people, it determines um, how how it escalates that, it highlights our insecurities, or we're able to know how to navigate it when it comes to other people. Like if, like me, you told me this so many times. I have alopecia and I'm bald, so I have an insecurity of being bald. It's not my preference. I don't like the way I look. So what I do to hide that insecurity, I put on a wig to make myself feel more comfortable. But other people, they embrace it. They embrace my insecurity, which is the true me. But I haven't come to terms with embracing that insecurity within myself. So I tend to hide it a little bit more. So I think we do have insecurities, but how we deal with it or come to terms with it or accept it is how we express that with other people.
Okay, okay. And that's fair. Thank you for sharing us and being so transparent with us. We appreciate your openness and transparency and your honesty. As the real Precious would say, you're hot. And it's open and transparency. So Tarika, what do you feel? Is it but wait, before you go, Tarika, uh Stephanie, you didn't mention which one do you feel? You said we both. Do you feel that one has the edge over the other, or I mean, how do you feel?
I think I think we both have insecurities, but on a larger scale where it's more apparent, I think maybe women do because we can mask a lot. I think men just usually show up how they are. Um, I think women probably may be more insecure because we have more opportunity to hide that
Okay,
or
okay.
change.
Now Tarika. Okay. Now Tarika, it's on you. I want to hear what is it that you feel. Do you feel women are more insecure, men are more insecure, or do they both have insecurities? Do they both display insecurities? What are your thoughts?
I think we both do have all of us have insecurity, but most women have more insecurities because we either we have our insecurities, but we put it on to other people, on other mostly females. Like we as females, we have our insecurities, but we put our insecurities on the other female. Like we'll say something like we might not
Projecting?
like her for no reason. Like we don't even know her, but we might not like her because her hair a certain way, or her clothes a certain way, or she was born in a different county or something like that. So we
So,
have more
so,
insecurity than men's.
so you feeling that women project it more often, and women
Correct.
have a tendency to have jealousies or envies against other women, which also displays some of their insecurities.
Correct.
Is
Yes.
that what you? Okay,
Yes.
okay. All right. Now I'm gonna play a video real quick. This should be a quick one, but it's about a young lady who says, "I'm the problem," and we're gonna discuss it right after she says this. All right, hold on. Let's drink it.
Problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, "It's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place?" And I was like, "Sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening." And he was like, "That's totally fine. Just come over." And I was like, "Cool." So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, "Are you gay? Like, what?" And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. But I just now I feel ugly.
What?
This is what. Okay, I am the problem.
All right. So with that being said, y'all saw it. What are your thoughts on that video? What are your thoughts on that video? Y'all saw it.
Was she crazy? I mean, I'm sorry. I might mean it like that. She said she wasn't gonna sleep with him because she was going over to the guy's house, but she wanted him to come on to her. So she basically contradicted herself.
Stephanie, before I go, you go ahead because that's what I say. But go ahead, Stephanie. What do you think?
Well, I do agree with Miss Terica. I think she should have just came out, I mean, and said what she wanted to do. Or if the guy did, I mean, he tried to abide by what she said, but what's going on? Like, you bipolar?
Exactly, right?
Like, or like if you were feeling some type of way, or like if you know it wasn't going, like, just go and leave. Like, and now you're putting all this other stuff and saying like, now I'm ugly. Now you're saying, putting words in this guy's head about his perception about you, but he's clearly hanging out with you and he doesn't think you're ugly. So now you're just bringing all these other factors and variables into the situation that wasn't there, that you put in there in your crazy woman brain, because sometimes we got woman brain.
Exactly.
What is woman brain? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
What is woman brain?
Okay, like it's a mix of okay, we're here, now it's like the doubts, okay, now it's the fantasies, it's like a mix of all this crazy stuff, like yeah, it's like, okay, but we believe it in our head, right? We can have a whole relationship, like Sean can never talk to me, but I can have a whole relationship and marriage with him. We have 3 kids and a dog, and you know, he comes around, oh, he doesn't talk to me, oh, I won't say nothing, but I may have feelings for him, but I won't express it. And then now he doesn't talk to me, or maybe I'm acting weird and he don't like me. But I'm telling you, women brain.
Unspoken expectations. Those are unspoken expectations.
Ooh, but I hear that. But now if I say that, I become chauvinistic. I become brutal and archaic. I become all these things that men become when they start telling women these things that you just admitted that some women have. I won't say all women.
That's fair.
I definitely have.
All women have. No, I'm just joking. But then it becomes archaic. I become this chauvinistic, misogynistic, istic, all of these things that I become, but it's not realistic. How about that one? Realistic. Can we get realism? Can we get that from you guys? Because we get confused. It's mixed signals all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't leave me alone. Don't stop. Don't.
It's
stop.
hard. It's hard.
Stop. Don't stop. What is
But it's
this?
bad.
But see, Sean, you got to realize if I think you and I had this conversation before. If we like a guy, we might in our brain, we don't want to, but at the same time we want to. If that makes sense, like hey, you smell good.
Kelly said it the best.
No.
My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes.
Right.
Wait. You said Kelly said it the best. But if you mention Kelly name, what happens? Oh my God! How did you even say him? My mind's showing me no, but my body. Really?
That's true. That's absolutely true. We can sit there with this guy. We like, damn, he's so fine. But I'm not gonna do that. But at the same time, we want him to touch us. But at the same time, it's
because we want you to respect us in a way, and you know, we kind of like you. It's very hard. That little
it's very hard. Yeah. We
from a
weird.
female perspective, maybe not from a male side, but definitely from a female, it's more unsafe. And then the guy can only say, as we heard our friend Carl, you're only mattress material instead of white material. So it's really touchy go with a woman's side.
Right.
You know what's funny? I was just having this conversation earlier, and I was before, and this is what I think sometimes. First off, y'all just want to hear. Y'all just want to be heard, and y'all just want to hear what y'all want to hear. Y'all don't really often, and I won't say everybody because I don't want to get beat up tonight. But y'all sometimes, some women, y'all go ahead and just hear and want to hear what you want, and then these slick talking brothers come around, hey sister, or get over here. You know, if you like the thug type, yo, I'm saying shorty, and they diss you. I seen men diss women, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I think I love him. He scranked on her. Man, get out of here with your old, and it be the fun. Beautiful women, wow, beautiful women, and a guy who treat them like dog crap. They will sit there and fall for this guy.
Mhm.
That's one. Then we have the opposite of where you say, I want a real guy. I want somebody, but you tell, I said it to you both individually and collectively. You give him the ways, W-A-Z-E, to the cookie. The ways to the cookie. In case y'all don't know, y'all on some other planet, Waze is the navigation system that people use on their phones and in their cars, and it's called Waze, W-A-Z-E. And ladies, y'all give the ways to your cookies all the time. Y'all would just sit there and tell a man exactly what he needs to say in order to get on your good graces.
Mm. Yeah,
You understand that, ladies? Both of y'all, go
Yeah.
ahead. You understand that?
we can do that.
Go ahead. I want you. Why? Why do you do it?
That's a good question.
Well, you know, if a person is lying or is a good salesman, they know how to let you talk your way into buying a car that you probably didn't want to buy, right? Now I'm stuck with this thing. But the thing is that he made a good presentation. He asked me, so what you need the car, or you know what you're looking for in a man. Okay, well, I'm looking for a car that goes about 4,000 miles because I go to work. And so, like you said, the questioning, the prodding and getting into your psyche, like the woman brain. Okay. So getting into that woman brain, knowing that your mental stimulates your other.
Right. But guess what? Ladies, let me tell you this, and I try to tell y'all this all the time. Y'all have control of the sex, so they say. But
Mhm.
what us men know, we understand all we need to do is start the conversation. Once you start dialoguing and engaging with us, you are now releasing all of that authority that y'all have. Slowly but surely. Sometimes y'all just lay it out there. Take it, please. Take it, please, please. Take it. You just give all the information.
Here,
Oh, I
Daddy.
love I love flowers. I love movies. I love this. I love that. And all they're doing is, okay. Next thing you know, if they're really ambitious, guess what they come with next time? Get some flowers. You want to go to a movie? Hey, I like comedies too. There's a comedy. Matter of fact, you know what? There's not too many good comedies out, but we love an old comedy. How about some Netflix and chill? And guess what? He's already halfway there. Now all he got to do is say some of the other things. Guess what? He might have said, hey, what do you like to eat? Guess what? You told him. And he comes with that. You know, Netflix and chill. I don't want you to be, I know you might be hungry. I'm going to stop by that restaurant you said you like. You know, what do you like? What do you want me to pick up? I'll bring it over with me. You don't have to cook.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Oh man.
This is the game. But y'all fall for the game all the time.
Yes, we
Several
do.
times.
Yeah, some of us do. Yeah, we fall for it sometimes.
So why
And
can't the guy just be into us and love us? So what are we supposed to be, a mime? What are we supposed to like talk in sign language so that he'll never know anything? We be like, oh,
Well, here's what it is. The guys who are into you and want you, you don't want.
That's intimacy. Intimacy. He just said into you. That's what you just said. Intimacy. That's right.
Yeah, no, he's intimate. He's into you because that's what he want to do is get into you. Intimacy, right? That's what he want to do.
Right.
So you get that. And guess what he gets? Intimate. Say, go ahead, say, because it comes better from y'all. Into me, see? Go ahead, say.
Well,
Yeah, because that's into me, see?
It's hard to get it from me then. I think there's something wrong.
you know what? That's not cool. Okay, so describe the guy that's not doing what Slick Rick did. That's into me.
Are we talking Slick Rick the Ruler?
No, okay, you just described the first Slick Rick. Now talk about the guy that's into you. What does he do? Does he show up with flowers? Because you know I like flowers too. Or
Guess
you know
what?
he does those things. So come on,
Guess
tell me
what?
the differentiation.
He usually shows up with flowers without you even saying it. He usually does things that you don't ask for. I literally had a conversation 2 days ago with about 2 different people, and they said, I didn't ask you to. I said, that's the thing about a man. You don't need to ask.
Right.
But y'all forget.
That's
What y'all so independent sometimes, and so I got this, so I want what I want. That you don't even a man will do things that you don't need to ask him to do.
So a man of service. A man of service.
A man will service you if he's into you.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, you just asked what would it be like. Unfortunately, I don't always like the service.
So the man of service, yes.
Yeah, but y'all don't like service. Just and how women will say, how she said, I just wanted to do this. I just want to have, because sometimes y'all just don't know what y'all want. Y'all want something like glitters, and that's golden. But
everything that's glitter is not gold. Gold is not glitter.
Right. But guess what? You don't test the gold.
Yeah, you do.
So he gives you some slum. He give you some slum, as we used to call fake gold back in the days. He give you some slum, and you just all eyes in there. Oh, thank you. And you put it on, and it's all nice. Look what he got me. You go tell your girlfriends. You go and until your fingers start turning green.
I think Illa might be here. Not sure.
Illa. He ain't on yet. What?
Oh, okay.
You done spoiled the surprise, but you know what? Let's get into his video real quick.
Billa's here. Billa.
Let's get into the video that I want to speak about, and here it is. Featuring Illa and Mr. Let Go.
With a whole dress on, reading a book. You need to have something to do. If you don't have nothing to do, this potentially will happen because women are children.
No, it's because hold on. It's because men pick childish women. Women are not children. Men have to stop dealing with childish women. Hold on.
However you want to look at it.
Hold on, bro. You talk. You heard the floor. So men got to stop dealing with childish women. Because as an adult, because before I'm a man, before we're genders, we're adults first. As an adult, you should have an identity. As an adult, you should have interests. As an adult, so if men are dealing with these women, then they're what they look for in women has to mature. Because you can be a housewife and still have interests and still have things that you're interested in. If you have to give a woman instructions, you're dealing with an immature woman. And if you like immature women, then you have immature taste. Say that.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, the man who just said that, let's introduce him. My man, Philosophical. Welcome to the stage, brother. How are you today?
What's up, Sean? How you doing? How you doing, Terica? Wife, long time no see. How you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, Go ahead, Illa. How are you today, sir?
Doing good, man. You know, I'm happy to be here. You know, with my man, 50 grand. So, you know, I had to come pull up, show love. You always show love to me.
Now, let me tell you about my man Illa.
Mm-hmm.
He be dropping jewels, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
He be dropping jewels for the women,
Mm-hmm.
and he be dropping jewels for the men. You know, and that's why I'm glad to have him on here, because we have two ladies here. And Illa, I don't know if you heard them just a few seconds ago, talking about all this stuff. Can you help me understand? Because in that clip, you said women are not children. But what they just described, as far as how we sometimes think gullible women can be, not all women, I ain't trying to get beat up today, but many can be gullible. For Slick Rick, as Stephanie called him, for Don Juan, Rico Suave, and whatever you want to call him. Illa and I, we know him. We can see him a mile away. We trying to understand why y'all can't see.
So you want to know my opinion on it?
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I concur that women are not children. However, they can be very childish. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Speak on it.
You know what I mean? They can definitely be childish in how they approach relationships and how they approach life in many ways. And unfortunately, in today's time, the more they have accomplished, the more they feel a license to be childish. It's really crazy, because I meet women and they feel like, well, I'm educated. And I've said this before, I'm educated. I've done this, I've done that. So when I want to act a fool, then I can do that because I went to school. It's like that doesn't justify to act any kind of way, because if you claim to be educated don't just mean you have a license to do a certain skill. It means that because you learn more than just numbers and books in school. Right. You learn discipline. You learn how to communicate with others. You learn how to share. You learn how to, take care of your room. Like, it's a lot of social skills you learn that can't be defined by just a degree. So when you say you educated in how many areas, because it's more than just I'm good at my job. Like, you have to have this type of social intelligence and emotional, because we like to talk about emotional intelligence, but we really need to focus on social intelligence, because if you know how to socialize correctly, you won't even trigger people emotionally to have to be emotionally intelligent. If we just use the right words, if we just think before we speak. And I get a lot of that from my man Sean. Like, Sean helps me a lot. Like, you know what I mean? In the behind scenes, Sean is definitely one of my Yodas. You know what I'm saying? And he hit me with the stick when he don't think I did right. And I argue with him and go back and forth with him, but it's like, all right, Sean. You know what I'm saying? Because he be right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about, because Sean kind of speaks to my sentiment. He just kind of like shows me how me and him are saying the same thing a lot of times. We're doing it different ways. And that's not really about right or wrong all the time. It's about cause and effect. Like, you can do it this way, you'll get this result. You can do it that way, but you'll get that result. Because right or wrong can be subjective as well. Just know what comes with the choices you make, and know that it can give you one way versus another. But I think women are just can be very childish in this modern social media world. Has kind of inflated that.
Yeah.
Ladies, what are your thoughts on that? Because I'm reading some of the comments, and that's why I got off camera, because I don't want to be looking down. But Mr. He said, salute, thanks for being here. Vaughn Bryant, thanks for being here. And they both were speaking about, Mr. He said, greetings all. He said, no, women are women. And we can agree, but as Philosophical just said, sometimes they do act childish. And we're talking women specifically right now, but it's not gender specific. Ladies, what are your thoughts on the childish, immature behaviors that we just kind of described in some of the things that are done?
I think he's correct. Oh, you can go ahead. Go.
No, you go ahead, love. I've been going first this whole time.
Well, I think he's correct that we do act like children, and that's because we wasn't taught how to act like a woman or how to act like a lady. And we haven't seen how to treat a black man. We don't know how to love a black man. So I guess that's why it plays a role in we needing that father figure in our lives.
Okay. And Miss Stephanie?
I totally agree. I will admit sometimes I got a little childish in the comments of Illa, but I just like to challenge him a little bit, on certain things. But I think we have a mutual, like a respectful understanding. But I think other cultures, they cultivate their children to become adults earlier in life. They give them these responsibilities to focus on family, and like you said, they see the examples. And here in America, it's like it's a delay, it's a arrested development. It's like we got traumatized in certain areas in our youth, and so now when we grow up, we kind of lock there,
Okay.
And this person may look or emulate the posture of a woman, but doesn't have the characteristics of a woman, like Illa said. Like, she may have the IQ, and I was reading about that. I need to go more into it. So, and what he was saying is, like, we may have the IQ, but they lack the EQ, which is the emotional intelligence, and then the SQ is the social intelligence. So it's like they're deficient in a lot of things. So what we see is deficiency in our women. So we can't have a respectful conversation. We can't let a man be a man. We got to micromanage what he's saying, or these things, and or we have to be right all the time. The need to be right, or I have to prove you wrong in a certain sense, instead of, you know what I'm saying, instead of just listening and learning. Sometimes you don't know everything, and women, sometimes we think we know everything. Sometimes.
Man, so what you saying? Y'all like control, huh?
Yeah, we be doing everything, and so all those attributes can be in the energy of being childish.
Exactly. I agree with her. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I once said this, that a person, I'm off camera purposely, pardon me, because I'm put on another video, but I once said that a person who only can trust in themselves, which is a lot of people, specifically a lot of women, have that tendency when they've been hurt, that they only can rely on themselves, that they start becoming controlling, because they want to control not to be hurt again. So they want to control the ability not to be hurt again. But with that being said, we done got on the women. I want to play a portion of this video and talk about some of these men.
Okay.
If you feel they're only after you for your money, this is where it becomes hypocritical. That's why you bought that chain. That's why you bought that car. That's why you have on that Gucci and that Louis Vuitton. That's why you got on that $250,000 watch. That's why you got a barber as one of your best friends. That's why you got all of this stuff, is to attract women. It's not because you think it's fly. You're doing it because you're trying to attract women. And then when you attract women who are attracted to those things that you put out
then
there,
you complain about it.
Then you complain. No, that's when you can't do it anymore. Your feelings get hurt that you can't afford the lifestyle anymore, and you blame the female.
All right. So I'm going to get off this camera now because I am back. So what do y'all think about that? Do men, because that's, to me, some of the displays of what men do that are immature or shows that insecurity, the other word that we were speaking on earlier today, insecurity, immaturity, and accountability. Those are the three words that we discussing tonight. So we discussed immaturity just now. That's the male sense of insecurity, in my opinion. What do y'all think?
I'll go if nobody else want to go.
Please do.
I think there's some truth to that, but not entirely, because every man doesn't want to. Sometimes we just like to look like that because that's just black people. I think if you go back to even Egyptian times, they were adorned in all types of stuff. So I think just being fly is just innate in black people, period. Now, when you take it to a level when it's just over the top, yeah, it's like somebody who work out just super. It's like, all right, you won. You got the muscles. Like, what are you here for? You know what I'm saying? So I think people take it to a level where it's ridiculous. I got on 7 chains, 8 chains, but just coming out and having a sense of a style and a sense of expression in men, because people don't separate the two. Because now it's like, all right, I seen a person get on me because I had a chain on. Like, oh, you trying to be you? It's like, yo, I don't have on 7 of them. It's like that's just a part of hip hop. Period. Like we are. This is a hip hop generation. I don't care if you in your early 40s, you still an older person that was raised in hip hop. That's just part of the culture. Period. And every dude doing that is not trying to get a woman's attention. It's more about conveying how fly I think I am, whether you around me or not. So I think it can be that, but when people hear that, they just associate. They don't try to get to the nuance. So they're just gonna feel like if a man like to get fly, then he's doing it for women, and that's just not the case.
Okay, well, guess what? Let's finish hearing this other man's point of view. Jeremy.
Where's the lie? Where is the lie? Now, for the fellas who y'all already typing, you already ready to go. He made you feel this type of way. What I need y'all to understand is this is the equivalent of what y'all say about women. Oh, you dress like this, you wear this, you got your hair like this, you got this, you got that, and then you mad when dudes only wanna. It is literally the same exact concept. And this is the reason why I don't take sides in the things I talk about. One day you're going to see me talking about women. One day you're going to see me talking about men. But every time it's surrounded by what you can do.
So he kind of said what you were saying, but I'm going to let the ladies jump in. Ladies, what do y'all feel? Is this part of men's adornment and flyness, as Illa was saying, and hip hop? Is it part of the culture, as we said, or is it something that they're doing to attract or disguise their insecurities?
Well, I think it's a whole bunch of. It could be a whole bunch of things. It could be like a misconception of his masculinity, that I have to, in order for a woman to really look at me, I gotta, have the flash and this and that to impress her, when actually you should just be confident in yourself. Actually, the rich people, they just dress like bums, and you never know. Also, there's nothing wrong with looking good. I mean, look at the peacock. Like, he's beautiful. He has his feathers and he flails them and puts him in a way that, hey, the female's like, oh, look at Jack over there. He looks fertile. It can send signals of, okay, that, I got, a little bit of, I can be a provider or something like that. Or, it can attract the women. But then there's like, then there could be an extreme version of it, like me. Like, I got my wig on, right? There could be the dude that got his male unit on. Because he doesn't want to be bald. So there's some that he's hiding with that. So you don't know because he does feel insecure, but he's like, well, I'll have to be, like, I want to look like somebody. Let me get my man piece on so I can feel confident and secure and attract, 8 or 9 or 10, or it's like, I think Illa was saying one time, he says that sometimes men do things to get a certain women, but with those certain women come certain problems, come certain headaches, like the expectations, like, you gotta keep this going, bro. Like, this is how I live. I make demands. Those types of women, you are setting yourself up for the demand that has to constantly be there. So you kind of are fronting instead of being who you truly are, in a sense. So it can work for you or it can work against you. You got to know how to balance that, I guess.
I agree. Because we're going to look at you as a fabric. We're going to look at you as fabric. Like, we're going to look at the man as a fabric. I'm going to like, oh, he looks so good, instead of really getting to know him. And that's what we need to know. Get to know him, not clothes, not the cars, not the money, not the job. Get to know him, the character of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
You're
right.
right. What we said earlier on, before Ella came on, this is how Rico Suave gets you. He just basically does and puts on this uniform disguise, whatever it is that is attracting the women, and then the woman is upset by the actual man that they receive, because they receive a man that just got intimacy. Remember, intimacy. That's what they got. They didn't get intimacy. They got into me. See, that's what the man got. He got into you, and you allow it time and time and time again. And I don't even know who to blame anymore, because I got on men because they was like, "Yo, we all lie for some cookies," and I'm like, "Why did you lie for cookies?" Yeah, we might have lied. I can't think that I lied for cookies. So it's so far behind me. Like if I was preteen or very early teenager when when I started telling the truth for cookies, I was more successful. There was a story. This man, there was two guys in the room, and y'all might have seen the story where they had this girl and she was playing with both of them. They were roommates, and they said, "All right, you're gonna have to make a decision. Which one you want?" And the first guy said, "Hey, I'm going to take you on a walk down the beach, and I'm going to look into your eyes and see the sparkle off of the moonlight, the stars off of the moonlight through the reflection of your eyes, and then bring you back home, and we're going to romantically look at the movie, rest your body, and so on and so forth." And his partner said, "Yo, I ain't doing none of that. I'm gonna take you upstairs. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you and make you see stars against the headboard." And she was like, "That's the rudest thing you ever heard. Where's your room?" That's what happens. Let me understand that, because y'all say y'all want the romantic. You want a man that. Now let's just say the man genuinely wanted to be your husband.
Okay.
And he was saying those things genuinely. It just sounded corny to you. The other man said what he said. Help me understand. Is it the enemy gender, or is it the inner you, the enemy, that wants all of these champagne wishes and caviar dreams?
I don't know. Okay, so what are we not what are we supposed to do? Okay, so we've been told to ditch the Disney fantasy, which would be the Mr. Prince Charming that tells us those nice romantical things. But now, okay, we got Derek that says he wants to make us see stars and have, the bed shaking, and let's have some food afterwards. It's bad. It's all appealing, but so what do? Do we have that fantasy, or like, oh my God, is so, wow, Brian is so nice. Oh my God. But
I don't want no guy coming to me. I'm gonna let you sit ahead, boy. I want to do this. I don't want no guy coming at me like that. That's disrespectful to me. I look at that as disrespectful.
But it's honest. Why do you call honesty disrespectful?
We need to be
it's not because if you coming at me like that, it's what energy am I setting off? I must be setting an energy off. My energy must be telling you something. I must be doing something, so you come at me like that. It's the way you carry us. It's got to be something. Our energy, your spirit is something that's why he can come at you like that. A real man is not gonna come at you like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great segue for our special guest who went viral on subjects just like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hear from Mr. Ella Topical. It's on you, bro.
So what's to be clear? What's the question again?
Well, I'm trying to understand why women fall for this. They couldn't answer it. They said, "What are you to do?" was their question to us. And I don't know what to do. I'm hoping you can give them some guidance on what they can do to distinguish the Rico Suave from the genuine man.
I mean,
Pray.
at the end of the day, a man can only sell you on what you're looking for. If
Sure.
you're looking for soda, no matter how much water I got, it don't matter because you ain't looking for that. So whatever I can tease you with, it's because it's only going to expose who you are. So a woman who's enticed by jewelry and money is because you're looking for jewelry and money. A chick who ain't looking for something like, I like that, but that's not what I'm about. Very simple. So it don't.
Right.
You only can get enticed with what's in what you want. You know what
Exactly. I was just saying it.
You sure, or that could be a distraction?
I'm positive because it can't distract you if that's not what you want.
That's true. I agree with what he's saying.
Women just be lying to themselves, and men be lying to themselves too. It's like our generation. I feel like you're between the age of 35 and 45, at least 30 and 45.
I agree with what's name again?
Say that again.
What's your name? Ilosophical.
You say Illa, man.
I agree with what you're saying because I feel like when we are single as females, we need to know our strength and we need to know our weakness. And sometimes the devil or evil, whatever you want to call it, it plays a role. They know what our weaknesses are. If like just what you just said, if we like money, cars, and all that, that's what they're gonna entice us with. If we're not enticed by that, it's gonna be something else. So you have to figure out what your weakness are and what your strength. And sometimes your strength can be your weakness. It really can. Okay,
yeah.
like for me, I like a guy that can stimulate my brain cell. Like I like that smart type of guy. So at the same time, it can be my strength. He can be just like you said. He can be telling me the right thing and all of that. But I got to make sure that he's legit. You understand what I mean? Because that is my strength, but he can also play it as my weak. Like I can say I love to read. Like you can say I love to read. I have plenty of books. Then he could say, oh, I love to read. But then I can go back and say, okay, what have you read lately? Then if he can't mention a book, then he just playing you. So your strength can also be your weakness. So you got to,
Right, he's like, I read Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, you have to decipher which one is which. So yes, that's what I think you should do.
I think the biggest problem women have is just don't be so quick to give it up because it means so much to y'all. Not saying you need to put on the time limit like I got a 90-day period. Like you don't have to say none of that. Just be like, yo, I like you a lot, but I just don't want to do that yet. And if he can't handle it, he can't handle it. But it just when women give their body away, that's when they start feeling all weird and shit. Well, at least the older generation, the young women, that shit don't bother them. They'll lick you up and down and be like, I ain't trying to be your girlfriend. No, you like, what the fuck? Like it's a whole different thing. Our generation has sex with you, my man. You like that's how we grew up. That shit is over with. The women of today, it's just like, well, I was horny. It's like what? It's different. So I feel like with our generation, we have to realize that we got issues. And if we got to be real about dealing with the opposite sex, we have to be willing to take on those issues because all these pathologies, we grew up different. You know what I'm saying? They just told us, go to church, go to school, get a job. That was it. And if you was a young man, find you a good woman. That's what they told the young men. They told the young women, don't need no man, which shows you the dichotomy and the issue right there. Because if we looking for how to pedestalize and prove to the woman we value, and she trying to prove to us that she don't need us, how the hell we gonna do anything? So we got to deal with that as a reality. Like that's what we was taught. That's what we was raised. So stop looking for perfection in the women. Stop looking for perfection in the men. We got to deal with each other as is, but try to at least tell the younger generation coming behind us what's up because our shit is what it is. But we got to try to get to the young ones because it's a whole different dynamic with them. It's perfection and emotion is not even a part of the equation. It's like that's the last thing that has to do with why we together.
I agree. Big up to Skunk Pack. Good looking out for subscribing. By the way, follow everybody on the panel. You have Illa, you have Wife School, Illosophical Wife School Podcast, and Tarika Smith. I want to get your name correct because we often call you Tarika, but it's actually Tarika.
Tarika.
That's right. Yeah,
and
commentary.
I just want everybody to like and follow everybody here. 1, 2. We were speaking about these 3 subjects because we're about to wrap it up. We were speaking about insecurity, immaturity, and accountability. We got on insecurity and how women sometimes are insecure about their looks and, project their insecurities onto other women or other people. Men, we spoke about their insecurities with their sometimes overindulging and getting all types of admonishments and chains and jewelry, cars, is showing and showing their money, letting their money be speak first before anything else speaks, whether out their mouth or their character. Then we went into immaturity. I played a video, which I'm going to leave this video with one of our guests, Illa. He was speaking to Mr. Letko, who says women are children, and we hear it all the time. And he corrected him. He said, no, it's not that women are children. And I'll let you see the video and we'll go on there. But he also said tonight that it's immaturity that we are sometimes attracted to, both men and women. We're attracted to sometimes these things. And the accountability we didn't really touch on because, we won't always take it. Like, for example, all of the too immature and insecure, if you're immature, you're not going to be accountable for it. And there's a lot of immature women and there's a lot of immature men. And as soon as you express that to them, they start displaying that immaturity because they get triggered by you telling them about themselves or you confronting them about it. And then they start reacting in a very emotionally immature way, as Illa brought to our attention. So those are the things that we spoke about. So I'm going to end it with this, y'all. I want y'all all to speak on accountability and how can we be more accountable to being less insecure and less immature. And we're going to start with Tarika, go down to Stephanie, go across to you, Illa, and then I'll finish up. We got about 3 minutes, so try and make it short. Tarika?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Accountability. Speak on accountability and what you feel we can do to be more accountable.
Oh, that's a good question. Can you come back to me? I can't think right now.
All right, we'll do that. Stephanie?
Definitely, as you stated previously, being real. You got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. You have to sit with yourself and really, go over the things that you like and about your character, that you dislike about your character, or things that you've taken on that probably wasn't you, and see where you fall within that, in your life. And if you're not satisfied, you have to kind of look in the past to see where things went left, how other things have impacted you, and take accountability for that. Maybe something did happen to you and you couldn't have any control. Some things you have to forgive. Definitely get help, mentorship, as illustrated before. Like sometimes we hit a wall and we have to talk to somebody. We have to bounce those ideas off a therapist or off somebody that has some knowledge and that can help us steer us in the right way, that we can elevate to the highest version of ourselves. Definitely doing a lot of reading, having difficult conversations, definitely just addressing those things and having hard conversations with ourselves and allowing ourselves to feel those feelings, but then move on. Don't dwell, don't ruminate on things that are not gonna make us improve or have accountability in our life, that we can see actionable results that say, well, I actually grew, elevated. Like, those things don't get to me like they used to. So it's taking all that knowledge and implementation will help you be more accountable and, be able to actually move beyond yourself and to be able to to interact with other people. And that's where you know that you matured and that you're not dwelling in immaturity, that you're not dwelling in that insecurity. Now you are in that level of accountability.
All right, Ella.
Yeah, I wanted to add some more context to Let Go perspective, but we're short on time. But I'll just say
Go for it. I'll just go over time. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically, I think what he may not be intentionally doing this, and he may not be doing it at all. But I feel like a lot of men in this space and women are trying to create a narrative that makes them the personal epitome of what the opposite sex should look for. So a lot of men tell on their reels. It's like they tell on themselves based on, like when he said, "Oh, women are children." It's like, nah, it's not that. It's just that, like I said, we have childish taste in women because a lot of women who have that ditzy, pretty girl aesthetic and approach, they are the type of men these guys is talking about, which means and they try to create a vacuum where what's left is just them. Like I'm the guy that you should be with because you want those little silly little Instagram model type chicks. Those are the ones that need guidance. Those are the ones that need instructions because all they know how to do is be pretty. So while you're trying to chastise men, what you're really doing is exposing your appetite in women. So I think a lot of times people just got to really break down what these people are saying because a real woman don't need help with hobbies. That's a certain demographic of women, and it's mainly these very airheaded IG model type women. So if that's what you're into, say that. Don't say women are children. Just say you like a certain type of women that is childish because you have a certain fetish for them, or you might like them or something like that. Because that's not. And they try to alienate brothers who can't pay for everything and do all that, so they can say, "See, I'm the type of guy you need." And it just people just gotta be real careful when they listen to these content creators, with me, everybody, and really understand that they really be talking about themselves. And when I'm talking, I try to talk about the average general person because that's the majority, not these subcultures, these subgroups. Like even the men that's super duper gaudy with the jewelry, that's a small subgroup of black men. But it's a larger group of black women trying to fit the bad chick role, trying to fit the diva role. So even when you played the last role clip you played, both of them brothers was right. The problem is the number of guys trying to be that is way smaller than the group of women who think they the baddest and think they this and think that. They're outnumbering the group. The average brother is not. Look how me and you dress, Sean. We're not trying to do all that. So it's like a lot of women want that, and the brothers that do go over and beyond to perpetuate that. Why? Because if they're listening to women, which I tell brothers, be careful how you do that. You would think that that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that what women say they want and what they actually want is not always the same. That's what
and that kind of segues into that women are children theories. Is because when you can't identify what it is that you want, you might need to take some time on trying to understand who it is that you are.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of people, both men and women, are superficial. A lot of people, both men and women, have been conditioned to only chase the bag or to only think that the bag is the most valuable thing. That was the one thing that I vehemently disputed with Kevin Samuels, is that he always spoke about a high value man, and it was only based upon how much he made, which he in fairness, he said that wasn't his perspective, that was society's perspective. And he's absolutely right. And it's unfortunate that society is the one that is putting all of this on it. And those in society who have the influence to direct and project the media direction or the narrative, they can direct the narrative, usually are in the place and space of having the money. And that's why they have people emphasize it so much, because they want to stay in control and have the ability to persuade those women and people so that they can get the ways to your cookies.
Ooh.
So it's on you, and then I'm going to say our farewells to everyone. and I'm going to leave off with the video that prompted some of this, which is between Illa and Mr. Let Go. So Tarika, it's on you.
Well, I just want us as women to learn to get the work on our trauma, recognize our triggers, and be forgiving, and just get the help that we need, and just go to therapy, talk to someone, make sure we have a positive role model, and just be the person that we want someone else to be. Just be that person.
Okay. Well, I wanted to thank you all for joining. It was definitely a good talk. I wish we had a lot more time. Only thing is, I want to be able to play it back, and I think I might have went over my hour, but nonetheless, I appreciate y'all. We about 5 minutes over, but I appreciate y'all for joining me and having this discussion about this immaturity, this insecurity, and the accountability when we have it. And by the way, we all, and I want to finish with this, we all have insecurities, we all have immaturities, and we all can basically mature. And I say mature because mature is synonymous with learning. You can't learn without maturing. You can't mature without learning. And we can always learn until we die if we're wise enough to do so. So I suggest, and I hope and project, and all of those other X, that we can continue to understand that being immature is not something that we always need to take as an insult. Sometimes we just need to understand that we all can mature and not take offense when somebody tells you where you need to mature, and it might help you to mature in those areas. So with that being said, again, I thank you all. I thank you all. I thank you, Illa. I thank you, Stephanie. I thank you, Tarika, for joining me tonight. This is Sean Bolden. My name is Sean Bolden, Sean B. However you know me, this is Straight Talk. This is Straight Understanding. And we had some straight talk tonight, and I hope y'all understand. With that, I'm going to leave with Illa and Mr. Let Go, who says, Mr. Let Go says women are children, which I argue with him all the time and say, well, if women are children, then men are children, and that shuts him up often, unless somebody get emotionally triggered and start showing that immaturity. So with that being said, thank you again. I appreciate you all, and let's see Illa drop the jewels or Mr. Let Go. For some reason, it's not playing. Uh-oh. All right, Illa, I guess it's not playing. So we just had Illa. That's even better. All right, so yo, peace, y'all. Illa, I'm gonna play it a little later. I don't know what happened. I'm having some
problem, love. It's all good.
Bye, Illa.
All right. Have a good one.